Hello! We are ready to start lesson 1-5. So you are labeling your notebook. Put down whatever the exact date is. I know it's the second week of school, but I don't know what day it is. We are starting with a few vocabulary words. Absolute value, additive inverses, and the inverse property of addition. Very quickly. Absolute value, the distance between 0 and a number on the number line. Always non-negative. And yes, it's that thing with the lines around the number. For example, -5, let me zoom in a little bit. -5, absolute value is 5. You're wondering maybe why I said non-negative instead of always positive. It's because 0 is neither positive nor negative. The absolute value of 0 is 0. That's non-negative. Okay, additive inverses. Example, 3 and -3, -1/2 and 1/2. Then, the inverse property of addition. I'll be honest, I read this in your book and I went, we might just call this the duh property, but there will be a reason for it later on. For every x, there is something that's the opposite of x. And the property means x plus the opposite of x will always equal 0. All right, inverse property of addition, duh. For every number, there's something you can add to it to make it 0. Now, this chapter, this section of the chapter, as you may have noticed, is called Adding and Subtracting Real Numbers. If the thought of watching a whole video on adding and subtracting real numbers makes you feel like that, blah, I can't do it, I know it, oh my goodness, Margaret, don't make me suffer through that, then go ahead and do this. Skip the rest of the video. Go to page 34 to 36 in your book. Do 48 to 58 even. Do 59 to 69 all. And you are done with this video. If the thought of reviewing, adding and subtracting real numbers, because you never quite got it before, makes you go, yay, I'll finally understand it, then stick with me. And we're moving on. You will see on my notebook here, I drew a really long number line, probably longer than I needed. Because when you are adding and subtracting numbers that are some positive, some negative, you need to keep this in mind. It will help you keep everything straight, all right? If you are adding or subtracting anything from, say, 2, if you're adding something positive, you're going to go this way. If you're adding something negative, you're going to go this way. On the other hand, if you're starting with, say, -9, and you are adding something positive, you're going to go this way towards positive. If you are adding something negative, you are going to go this way towards the negative end. That's pretty straightforward. It only gets a little confusing when we're adding big negative numbers with little positive numbers, or, well, let's go through a few examples. For example, 5 plus 3. Oh, piece of cake. Start at 5, go over 3. 1, 2, 3. Your answer's 8. Yay! Okay, 5 plus -3. Start at 5. We're going the other way 3. 1, 2, 3. The answer's 2. -7 plus 2. Oh, you know what? That would help if I showed you the problem before I zoomed up here to the number line. There we go. -7, adding 2. 1, 2. We're still on the negative side of the number line. Our answer is -5. Got one more problem down here. -7 plus -2. Come back up to the number line. -7. We're adding -2. So we're going this way. 1, 2. Think about that. Let it sink in. But wait. I want to give you the quick and dirty rules for doing these addition problems correctly. Positive plus positive is a positive number. That's easy. Negative plus a negative number is a negative number. When you have one positive number and one negative number, use the sign of the larger absolute value and subtract. What the heck do I mean? Take a look at these. 8 plus negative 12. Which number has the larger absolute value? 8 or negative 12? You are right. It is negative 12. So, this becomes... I'll do this in big marker so it's easy to see. 8 plus negative 12. Here's what we do. 12 minus 8, which equals 4. But, remember to use that negative sign. There you go. Use the sign of the larger absolute value and subtract. That's what we did. That's the right answer. Try it again. Negative 2 plus 11. Which one has the larger absolute value? 11 does. Whew, this is easy. It'll be positive. That's going to equal 11 minus 2, which is equal to 9. If there's no sign, then you assume it's positive. So I'm going to circle that nothing. No sign there, it's positive. No sign there, it's positive. Yay! Okay, one more. 16 plus negative 7. Which one has the larger absolute value? 16. Subtract. 16 minus 7 gives 9. Look at that, two answers the same in a row. Same thing as before. This has, 16 has no sign, so you assume it's positive. And that means 9 is also going to be positive. Okay, we're not quite done with this yet. We have to deal with the subtraction. But what about subtraction? Oh no, it makes my hair stand on end. Except it doesn't need to. Piece of cake. Turn it into addition. Ta-da! And use the addition rules. But how, do you say? Easy! Use your magic brain and writing implement. 20 plus a negative 9. Well, if we're going to change this into the opposite, we turn that into the opposite. And all of a sudden, positive plus positive. Nice. How about this one? Well, if we change this to the opposite, we change that to the opposite. Then we use our rules from the other page. 11 has the bigger absolute value. We're going to subtract, which is actually kind of what I did. Undid. 11 minus 8, which gives us 3, and it's positive. Okay. Now, negative 6 minus 10. Turn that into addition, so make that the opposite. Negative 6 plus negative 10. What was our rule from the other page? A negative plus a negative gives us a negative. Negative 6, negative 10, negative 16. You can also review page 31 and 32. They go through this explanation again. They do it differently, so maybe that explanation will work. So you have a few choices. You can go back, rewind the video, watch my explanation again. You can review page 31 and 32. Your homework for tonight is going to be these problems. Page 31, number 2, that's a 4-part problem. Page 32, number 3, that's a 2-part problem. Page 33, number 4, and also on page 33, the lesson check, number 1 through 9. Work through it slowly, think about your number line. I bet you'll get it. And I'll see you tomorrow.